Hi guys, it's Rod Bland from Rod Bland Agency, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about story placement ads, and specifically that means Instagram story ads, Facebook story ads and Messenger story ads, and how if you customize the creative to suit those particular placements you can get much better results. And in fact, with one client we've achieved as much as a 27% better performance from an ad by just changing that one particular thing. Now, before I get started, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit the like button, click subscribe if you enjoy my content and you find it useful. I really appreciate that. It really helps me out. And let's get on with it. So let's start off with what story placement ads are. So I'm on the Facebook website here, and they take you through what some of the different ad types are. And down in stories, they're described as customizable edge-to-edge experience that lets you immerse people in your content. So essentially, in basic terms, they're usually 1080 by 1920. So it's a tall format, 1080 pixels wide, 1920 tall is how we usually do the ads for our clients. And they create this total edge-to-edge experience instead of having the top and bottom cut off like you do see in a lot of other ad placements. Now, the reason that we started looking at this is because our Facebook expert that was assigned to us by Facebook said that with some of their other clients they've been talking to, they've been seeing as much as a 25% improvement in performance by having creative that's specifically tailored for story placements. And at first I thought, well, I'm not so sure whether that's actually really true or not. So with one client in particular, we've been seeing a 27% better improvement where we customize the creative specifically to suit the story placements over the performance that we're getting just from a standard square format video that we've been using on all of their other placements. So it's definitely worth investigating, and I'm going to take you through a number of things in today's video. I'm going to take you through how you can use story placements, how you can customize your creative to specifically suit those placements, and some of the pitfalls that go along with doing that. Now I'm going to show you how you can set up your ads to use the story placements and what you need to do if you need to adjust your creative to suit that particular placement. So we'll jump over to the ads manager, and I've already got an example ad and campaign set up here in my demonstration ad account. So just ignore any red warnings because this is just a demo account. But just to give you an idea, if we say have a look at, I've got this slideshow ad set up here, and the format for the creative here is in a square format. So if we click on edit, you see it shows us that we're in a 1080 by 1080 format. Now for the stories, you can see that if I edit that one, I'm using the same image. So I'm using that same piece of creative across all the different layouts. Now in this add creative section here, you can edit the different types of placements all in one place rather than just doing one placement per, one placement at a time. So if we look at the stories and reels here as a group, you can see I'm using currently that 1080 by 1080 media, and it covers all of these different formats here. So they say 6 placements, but actually this looks like there's a number of other placements in there. And if we select a different group, say Instagram feeds, or actually it's Facebook and Instagram feeds, but you've also got mobile and desktop. You can see it covers quite a number of different placements in itself. So how do you specifically tailor your creative to use the Instagram story placement? So how do we get into using the 1080 by 1920 format? So what you can do is, if you edit the group, the simplest way to do it is to change your media. I've already got a piece of media loaded here actually, which is already in the 1080 by 1920 format. Now it's not been specifically redone to suit this tall format, it's just for the illustration. So I've selected that different format and I'll go save, and then if I publish, and now we can see if we look at our Instagram stories, we've got the ad that's actually filling the entire screen. Now another way that you can do a specific creative change for story placements is during the ad setup process. So when you've got your ad set up, if I just bin that media and then I add it back in again, so I'll go add video, choose my square creative, and then you get these options here as you are setting up the ad where you can change the layout. So they've recognized that this is a square format, so they're recommending the 916. Now I'm going to talk a bit more about some of the pitfalls of doing this, but you can see one is pretty obvious here in that the tiling gets cropped, so it's not always ideal to want to do that. And you can see here that for the right column, if this was an image, then cropping is for a 16:9 format for the right column might be appropriate, but we'll stick with the story formats for now. So I'll just cancel out of that. So now I just want to cover some of the pitfalls associated with the story format, and when you're customizing your creative, things that you want to watch out for. So let's just have a look at an example here. So the first thing is you have to watch out for the title. So if, like I mentioned before, if you're customizing a square format ad to have titles in it and you want to maintain your existing titles, you might need to reconfigure your titles because they may end up getting chopped off in the story ad format. The other thing is the top part of the ad here is obscured by the advertiser information, so you need to watch out for that. And then down the bottom you've got the shop now button and the little arrow that also takes up some space. So just keep that in mind if you have mainly titling in your ads, that you need to make sure that it's clearly visible. You don't want it to be, obscured by any of those different elements. So that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed this content and you've found it useful in your advertising efforts, then please go ahead and smash on that like button, click subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. Now, we are a specialist Facebook and Instagram advertising agency, and if you are wanting to get better results from your advertising efforts, or you're looking to get into doing advertising on Instagram and Facebook and you'd like to have a chat with somebody about how that works, then we'd like to have a chat with you. There'll be a link to our calendar in the description below. You can click on that, you can book a time to have a chat with one of my team or myself about what you're doing and what you might like to do and how the pricing works and all that sort of thing. There is only one caveat, is that your budget is at least $100 a day, so $3,000 a month. So if you are looking at spending that, or you're currently spending that, then that's fine. Go ahead and book a call, and maybe we might end up working together sometime in the future. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.